Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here. I totally wanted to walk in from off camera and try to be Jeff McMahon, but I bailed out last second. Didn't really work out. I was gonna say I don't think I can do this, guys. I'm all on my own, and yeah, reminds me of a high school teacher when I was a kid and all that. Name their full name. Anyone who watches Jeff McMahon would probably realize what I'm just doing, but um, not. Yeah, yeah. Acclaim says I don't look like I'm in enough anguish. Yeah, I don't know how he does it. Wait. Life, life is a jungle of anxiety, man. Life is a jungle of anxiety, and you gotta hack machete your way through it. Every morning, and machete your way back when you get home to sleep. And anyway, um, it's good to see you all. Um, I know a couple of my friends felt a little bad that I was going to go solo, but I'm actually looking forward to going solo tonight because well, I get to focus on the chat while we do watch soup. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I get to chat with you guys a bit more, like some of the guys that I don't get to chat too much with, right? But yeah, let's get into it. Wristwatch check, guys. Let me know what's on your wrist. I am wearing the my evening watch, as Mr. Legs would say, the SPGY 003 on a deluxe strap. Cool. But yeah, let's see who's in the chat here. We got Wolfie who's first. Good to see you, Wolfie. Chaz is here. Halloween watch suit too. I gotta work that into my bit. Yeah, it's Halloween night, and um, there's a lot of kids coming in and leaving, and I shouldn't be here and, and all that. But anyway, Justin, how's it going, sir? Clayton, AZ Clayton, good to see you. Corey's here as well. We're in the SJE 085. Great choice, man. Great choice. Bill's here. Um, Bruno got lots of candy left over. I could go for some actually. I meant to get some Reese's peanut butter cups, but totally forgot. Wristwatch Scott, good to see you. How's it going? I don't know if we've met before, but hi. um, hey, Steve, good to see you. Let's see, Bobby, how's it going, Bobby? Good to see you as well. And yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. James Duffy's here. Torin is here. Full agenda. It's not going to be as bad as it looks. Yeah, we'll get into that, but I'm going to blow through three of them. So, um, hey, Reinhard, good to see you as well. Desk Diver, how's it going? What's on your wrist, guys? What's on your wrist? Yep, solo dolo today. Wait, I could have done Tim Mosso because I'm solo, right? Hi, I'm Sanjay. Welcome to Engineer Wannabe, and thanks for logging on. If you like this watch, be sure to message me about buying it, but I'm not going to sell it. So, Eric, yes, I know I'm never alone. You guys make it worth it. Hey, Saeed. I hope I'm saying that right. How's it going from Virginia? Good to see you. Hi from Toronto. Acclaim, I already said hi to you. Um, hey, you don't have to. We are because I mean, I have a whole bunch of videos we're going to discuss, and I mean, if you want to, you can, but kind of late now, so yeah, maybe next time. Get back to me. Mes9, good to see you, and Craig as well. Good to see you. I totally failed. I was totally gonna walk in and do the whole Jeff McMahon bit. Um, yeah, yeah, just let you guys chat. Yeah, we can do that. Wolfie is wearing the Moser Pioneer. Cool. Good choice. Bobby is wearing the Yub as usual. Um, Eric, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Um, oh, very nice. Claim is wearing the Skelton GA 2100. Very nice. Young Excellency, good to see you. I am most definitely not the king. That's Bobby Legs, who's the king of Canada. So, Jason, how's it going? Wearing his Tudor Fast Rider. did a recent video on that, calling it his luxury beater watch. I think it's a good title for that. Ken Spear, how's it going? Tiso PRX Powermatic 80, very nice. Yama Navy Graph tonight, very cool. Ben, I don't think I said hi. Hi, Ben. Blue Montanoble, nice. Good choice there. Hey, James was wearing the 213, nice. Oh man, that's such a good watch. AZ Clayton is wearing his Yub or the Cermet. Chaz is wearing the Zin 105 UTC. Cabra YQG, how's it going? Is wearing the Time Walker Mont Blanc. And Watch Once Over is wearing the SPB 053. Ooh, I'm pulling a blank there. Is that enamel dialed? No, I think that's the previous gen Marine Master 200, maybe. Yeah, can't quite remember. Uriel, good to see you. Wearing his SPB 237. Nice, good choice. UWC is wearing his two-tone root beer. Very cool. Reese's peanut butter cups are the best. I didn't used to like them. My wife got me hooked on them. You shouldn't be a fan, Wristwatch Scott. But hey, pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Bruno gave out Milk Duds and Whompers. Kept the Reese's and Almond Joys to myself. That's good. I'm not sure what Whompers are. That sounds good. I can remember working my wrist as small as 12 millimeters. 12 millimeters. Wow. That's a good one. Matthew, how's it going? Laureato, very cool. Matthew, you have such an insane collection. So cool. Penny's here wearing her Milgauss Black GB. Very cool. And Derek, how's it going? Good to meet you. Good to see you. Jonathan is wearing his SBGH 289. Ooh, is that new? I'm not familiar with that model. We'll have to look it up. Okay. Bruno's wearing his Woolbrook World Time Skin Diver. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to end the show unless if I accidentally close the tab like I did a couple of times previously. That would be bad. Whoppers. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I like Whoppers. I'll take the Whoppers. Okay. All right. So, reviews for this week. Wait. I'm still super professional, guys. There we go. Reviews for this week. Got to talk about our friend Evan from. Oh man, I'm blanking out on his channel name. Evan's channel. What's Evan's channel? Help me out, guys. I don't know. Anyway, he did a review of the Segaiha, the SLA053, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, SLA053, and it's You're Terrific. How could I forget that? It's crazy. Thanks, Chaz. Thanks, Wilson. Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Corey. You guys are the best. Yeah, so he did a review of the Sagaiha. I think our friends, well, I know my friend Clayton from the Watchdog podcast owns it. And yeah, it's a beautiful watch. Black, not DLC coated, but super hard coating, whatever that means. D Shield, maybe. The case is super hard coated, comes with a black rubber band, and has this wave, not the wave pattern, but the Segaiha pattern that is on a lot of Japanese artwork. Very beautiful watch, very popular pattern. I've seen a lot of NATO straps with that pattern. So, Justin, that's funny. He meant I'm terrific. Thank you. Hey, we all have like these brain malfunctions, right? I think I just had one of those. Um, yeah, I'm his number one fan, and I forgot his channel name, but I remembered his name. That's what's important. So if you're watching, Evan, which I know you're not, I remembered your name. Hey, Tennessee Mike, good to see you. But yeah, he did a review of the Sagaiha. It wasn't as funny as he normally is. It wasn't as the dry humor was kind of toned down. I don't know if it's because he really liked the watch, but it's a good video regardless. And Clayton, Watchdog Podcast Clayton, mentioned that it made him love that watch again. So that's good to hear. But Beans and Bezels. I think Beans and Bezels still has that watch too. If you guys haven't heard of Beans and Bezels, that's a great YouTube channel you guys could check out. He churns out the content, so much so that it's hard for me to keep up. Um, James Duffy Googled the SBGH 289. It's the new high BGS. Oh, of course, of course. How could I forget? Yeah, great choice, man. Um, Great choice, Jonathan, for picking that up. Very cool. But yeah, so that was one review that I watched. Another review, I think I'm gonna save for the next segment. I think Jenny L kind of did a review of the Black Bay 58, although it's not really a review. Um, and I think that's the only review that I saw this week. I mean, I saw a couple of others, but they weren't not that they weren't worth talking about. It was just probably watches that we've already seen. So yeah, let's keep going. Your terrific mention, obligatory. Your terrific mention out of the way. Um, let's move on to Tudor Week, guys. Keep the chat going because I'm like right on the chat this time. um, Chaz saying Beans and Bezel does good work. He sure does. Um, Jonathan, yes, James just got loving it. Yeah, very cool. I was not too sure about that at first, and I still haven't seen it in person. I think I'm partial to spring drive, so I'd still probably pick the SPGA 229 or 231. Um, I know Kevin S, he'll probably watch later. I don't think he's on right now, but he really him and I were talking about the 229. He was considering it, and it made me want it back. And he said, "Yeah, that's not for you." Yeah, it's really not for me. It's too big, but I wish I could wear it. I love the 231. Hey, Ep, good to see you. Or EP. So used to calling you Ep because Amin's done that a couple of times. But yeah, good to see you. Okay, so this week felt really strange. So towards the end of last week to the end of this week, it's like every YouTuber has gone nuts about or Tudor. Uh, I'm not sure why. I mean, it's a crazy coincidence if it is. Everyone's we'll go through the videos. The videos they're all linked in the description. So if you guys ever want to check any of these videos out, they are already linked. But yeah, so Tudor, it's been Tudor week. Let's talk about the time teller video. I don't know if you guys saw that one. um, so he said, what was the video called? He called it, "This video is going to get me in trouble." So I'm not sure. I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be about Tudor or Tudor, as Wilson and Craig have been correcting me. It's funny that Jenny actually pronounced it Tudor, not Tudor. I know she's studied in England or Scotland maybe, and I thought maybe she'd call it Tudor. Uh, it's funny. I've got so many comments. People tell me it's pronounced Tudor. It's pronounced Tudor, not Tudor. I mean, it's just a pronunciation, guys. Uh, anyway, yeah, it's been a weird week. So, Time Teller put out a video, um, talking about the insecurities of Tudor fans, or Tudor fanboys, and I don't think this just applies for Tudor. This applies for anyone. Um, I guess he's been random. Rob, good to see you, man. Rob calling it Tudor. That's good. That'll get them going. Um, but yeah, hey, maybe the time teller has something because I'm already like making fun of the name and pronunciation about and talking about how so many people have been on me about calling it Tudor and not Tudor. Um, it's saying Tudor with an accent. you want me to talk with an accent? It's so weird. But so Jory, he did a video with a 3-minute ad, probably 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, for face cream. I mean, I could not believe that he was going on and on about the face cream. But yep, so the face cream out of the way, he he went on to talk about insecurities of people, about fanboys, and how fanboys suck, and that there's no fire too hot, no weapon too strong, on which to skewer him with, if he got something wrong about about Tudor, or if he just poked fun at someone. He was talking about how Invicta people laugh along with you when you make fun of Invicta. Um, and what was the other brand? Hublot? No, Vostok people. The funny thing though is there are Vostok fanboys who will jump down people's throats. It's just there are not as many of them. So it's just people, and uh, I mean it's strange. Maybe Jory is going through some stuff, you know. Maybe and he insinuated that people are super, or the fanboys are super insecure about how close Tudor is to Rolex, and it's not a Rolex, but they want it to be a Rolex, and they can't afford a Rolex. Oh boy. um, you know, I think he's a funny guy. I like the time teller. He's funny, and I don't mind the yelling. EP, just can't watch the time teller too much yelling. I find it a bit funny. Um, You need more of me doing an English accent, says Chaz. Man, that'd be embarrassing. I'm not that good at that. Um, Amin Review says, I was thinking about the Tudor ceramic Black Bay today. Must be all the coverage. Um, I don't know, Amin. Maybe it is all the coverage. Um, I mean, Corey, Wolfgang, and I were talking about how great, or not how great, but how influenced we are. Um, I'm going to stop now, but we are influenced um, by all the videos we watch, the Instagram posts we see. Black Bay ceramic is nice though, and I think it suits you, I mean, because you seem to like that blacked out look. So with that Seiko. Um, Justin, that's a good one. Chaz says, "Please don't stop." Okay, keep going. Um, I don't have great skin. I don't know if you're talking to me. Um, Time Teller probably has great skin, but this is the Apple face smoothing thing going on. It's got rid of all my texture. Yeah. So who needs Tej Hanley? Just get an Apple webcam. Yeah, that'll do it. Say no to Time Teller and Invicta. Yeah. Justin, I probably did sound like Watch Gringa because she's Canadian and she has half a British accent, so I probably did sound like sound like Watch Gringa. Hey Dan, how's it going? Alex is gonna judge your accent. I wish I could do a Scottish accent. I can't do a Scottish. I used to be able to do a Scottish accent. I can't anymore. I think it's my time here in Canada. Um, Hi there. Hi there, lad. How are ye? Okay, I'm gonna stop. Anyway, um, yeah, so the next video, we were talking about insecurity. So Watch Gringa, good segue there. Um, Watch Gringa did a video on Tudor is not a poor man's Rolex. And and she went into a little bit of history on Rolex and Tudor, how Tudor used to be the poor man's Rolex, and now it's not. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like all this defense on Tudor being a poor man's Rolex. I mean, we're not convincing anyone, right? Um, uh, Yeah, Steve says, "I heard Sanjay's Gringa's brother." You know, Watch Gringa posted a map of, where she grew up, and it's like a town really close to me. Like, I can drive there in 10 minutes, which is nuts. So she used to be my neighbor back in the day. But yeah, anyway, Watch Gringa was making this video defending, not really defending, but discussing this idea of Tudor being poor man's Rolex. Um, and yeah, all these defense videos, I guess it makes for good discussion, but we're not really changing anyone's minds. The people who think uh, Tudor is a poor man's Rolex is they're not going to change their minds. It's always going to be the poor man's Rolex to them. And there's not a lot of those guys out there. Some, I mean, maybe there are a few, but they are. I mean, okay. I'm just gonna say it. I think they're really snobby. They have this image of Tudor, and they don't want to bring themselves down to that level. Um, I shouldn't put everyone in a box, but I feel like that's the problem there when it comes to people who don't like Tudor, just because it used to be a discount Rolex back in the day, and she made a good point. It's not that case anymore. Tudor does their own thing. They do, like Tim also says, they are allowed to do reissues. They're allowed to experiment with new materials, weird movements. Do they do weird movements? Yeah, they do an alarm. The Tudor Advisor. You're not going to get that with Rolex, although Rolex has really cool stuff like the Sky Dweller. Um, Shout out to Wilson, the Sky Dweller. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. In the end, it's good discussion, but people who don't like Tudor because it's poor man's Rolex. I heard Craig Ship say that once, um, and I was like, really? Oh, okay. Well, the people who think Tudor is poor man's Rolexes, they're not going to get convinced otherwise. And the people who think Tudor is the greatest thing of all time, better than Rolex, they're not going to get convinced otherwise either. So, yeah, agree to disagree and live harmoniously. That rhymed. um, but the next video, of course, was from Jenny L. But before we get to that, let's talk to Jason. When I think of Tudor, Rolex does not come to mind. Yeah, yeah, I, yeah. I don't really think of Rolex when I think of Tudor either. Um, Wolfgang says yes. Poor schmucks, only spending $3,000 on a piece of rich jewelry. Yeah, Gringa did a funny skit there. I laughed at that. Um, she yeah, you poor you poors with the $5,000 watch. What's wrong with you? Uh, yeah. Anyway, Corey. Corey says, I don't care if it is or isn't. I still love the Black Bay 58 regardless. Yeah. Wilson says Rolex used to be a discount Rolex back in the day too. Yeah. Used to be able to get discounts. Daytonas used to be worth nothing. You couldn't pay people to buy Daytonas, and so on and so forth. So, Mes9 says, good discussion on Paul Thorpe's stream about Tudor with Oshin and Gringa. Oh, I didn't know they were on there. I'll have to take a look at that. Um, Justin says, falling hard for the divers, Corey. He sure is. Sure is. He's an inverse. Started out with the field watches and now to the divers. Okay. So next up, Jenny L did a great video pointing out a few things about Tudor, the Black Bay 58. So let's see if I have the 5 things. And whoop. I started playing the video. That's funny. Anyway, yeah, so Jenny L was talking about a couple of things that she wishes she knew, or top 5 things, yeah, she wishes she knew about the Black Bay 58. Um, First one was case in the case in bezel, talking about the bezel being made out of aluminum. price and availability, how the Black Bay 58 is, available, and she said that it should be available within a year. I think she's being conservative there. I see Black Bay 58s left, right, and center on display cases right now. So yeah, they're fully available, guys. You don't have to wait for a year. Just keep looking. If you want to pick it up in person, that is. And don't pay a premium. Don't pay a premium for the Black 58. Um, so yeah, talking about the different dials, talking about the bracelet and clasp. There's no quick adjustment on there, and the full rivets. I really like the full rivets. I mean, I wish they were real, but moving parts could break easier. Yada yada yada. So anyway, and then um, all the different models that are available when it comes to the Black Bay 58. There's the gold, the silver, the um, what was it? Bronze, and the two steel versions. So yeah, different materials. So good things to know. One good thing she did not mention is the clasp is atrociously long. I don't know why people don't mention this. She showed a wrist shot of the Black Bay 58, and you could see it sticking out on the inside of her wrist and the outside of her wrist. Um, why aren't people mentioning this clasp thing? I guess people don't care. How could they not care? It's I don't know. I don't know, but she didn't mention that, so that's one bonus point for me. Um, and yeah, great video from Jenny L as usual. I don't think she's put out a bad video yet, so good stuff. Uh, Corey says he's easily swayed. I am too, Corey. I agree. Nefarian says that he has. I have the least Tudor, the Black Bay 36. I think that crown probably goes to like the Tudor 1926. Probably the least Tudor. Um, Tudor Royale, maybe. Not a lot of people like that one. Yeah, I'd say the 1926 is probably the least favorite Tudor. A lot of people like the 36. Black Bay. Time Hill Steve says it's pronounced aluminum. I disagree. It's pronounced aluminium. um, I'm just being a pedantic, but um, I grew up calling it aluminium, and there are a couple of things that I still stick to, like because I grew up in Sri Lanka, which is what do you call it? A colony, a British colony. So you see advertisement, I think is the Canadian or North American way to say advertisement, but I say advertisement. I say vitamin, not vitamin. So my wife always makes fun of me, and she actually says vitamin now too. So, ha, victory. And I say schedule, but she says I have to say schedule. I guess it's not shul and it's school, so I see her point. But English is a messed up language anyway. Um, but yeah. Hey, Jason's here. Good to see you, Jason. How's it going? Jenny L is always fair in her reviews. Yeah, for sure. Um, Nefarian says my Black Bay clasp is sticking out. It bugs me. No Uncle Seiko for the Black Bay 36. Yeah, that's unfortunate. No Uncle Seiko half link. Um, I did that mod on my clasp and it made it bearable. I wish Uncle Seiko took out another millimeter. Every millimeter makes such a huge difference in shrinking that clasp down. But yeah, maybe if enough people need it. I don't think a lot of people are clamoring for a half link for the Black Bay 36, unfortunately. Um, Justin says I emphasize my emphasis is on the wrong syllable. Yeah. According to you, Justin, according to you. um, do Europeans spell aluminum with an extra I too? Yes, they do. I heard a story. It might be a complete folk tale here, but I heard a story that when the patent office or the patent office moved over. from across the pond to the US, um, that they misspelled aluminum. So they misspelled the I, and that's why the US guys and the Canadians say aluminum, while the British and the Europeans say aluminium. So I don't know. That might be a complete fabrication, but it's a good story, right? I don't know if anyone else can corroborate that story, if anyone else has heard that, but anyway. So yeah, that's really strange that so many people are talking about Tudor, and I feel like there were a couple others too. Bark and Jack mentioned Tudor in his Q&A video. I can't quite remember anyone else, but yeah. Hey, did you guys notice that I was kind of gonna like chat about TGV's video about with Mark from Long Island Watch. They were talking about reinventing brands, and it just disappeared just before Watch Soup. I don't know if it's permanently gone, if TGV is making a change or something, but it's just gone. So that's strange. I don't know if someone got in hot water, but anyway, um, let's move on from that. Hey, shall we talk about something super nerdy? This like this video was made for me. Have you guys seen this one yet? Um, Sorry, let me check in with you guys on the chat. Um, Is O, then probably two. Not sure what you mean, Wolfie. Maybe I missed a previous comment. Um, Designer Atelier, Sanjay, chilling with a bottle of Guinness with my GMWB 5000. Cool, very nice. I thought you were saying I was chilling with a bottle of Guinness. I most definitely am not. Guinness used to be my favorite beer, though. So there you go. Offenlicht, good to see you, man. Um, he says, or they in Germany say aluminium as well. I'm sure Wolfgang. I've heard Wolfgang say aluminium. So Austria. So I'm pretty sure the rest of the world says aluminium, and us here in North America we say aluminum. It's easier though. Bruno, titanium, uranium, plutonium, all EM. Aluminium should be the correct spelling. Hey, there you go. That's a good argument there. Well done. Okay, Corey says TGV video is still showing up for you. Okay, that's good. I usually make a playlist. Maybe it's not allowed to be on a playlist. Maybe he brought it back up. But yeah, it's still not showing up in my watch suit playlist. That's weird. Issue. Oh, issue. They say funny in Britain. Don't know how to write it. Issue. Anyway. Okay, that's good to hear. So we could kind of chat about it. Talking about we'll talk about this microfiber thing. Um, have I would recommend you guys go see this if you enjoyed my whole spring bar rant, because this seems like a very similar thing going on here, talking about microfibers and all the different kinds of microfibers. And I really connected with this video, talking about the way microfibers pick up dirt off the surface of a watch or a piece of metal. And we was talking about how this one lady um, brought microfiber into the watch world. So they used to use fabrics. Well, microfiber is a fabric, but they used to use cotton. Excuse me. So in the watchmaking world, they use cotton, which tends to push dust around on the watch, and if it is an abrasive piece of dust, it will leave micro scratches. And microfibers, in general, they have like a 3D, more 3D of a pattern because it's woven material rather than no, it's not woven, it's knitted material rather than woven material. And woven material is very 2D, while knitted material has like this third dimension that's able to engulf um, dust particles. And it was pretty revolutionary apparently in the 90s. And she got the lady Babette, I think is her name. She got a whole bunch of orders for microfibers, and she's been supplying microfibers since, which is super interesting. I used to have I mean, I think we all clean watches with microfibers now, but I used to have, coming from the detailing world, car detailing world, microfibers are super important. You don't use any other kind of material to clean a car. You or when you're polishing car to wipe away product, you only use microfiber cloths. And like when they were talking about how it engulfs abrasive material and picks it off the surface, I was thinking, hey, that makes a lot of sense because on vehicles you have this plastic coating, right? The clear coat is kind of like a plastic coat, and it's super depending on the paint formulation, it can be super susceptible to being scratched. Micro scratches will cause issues with reflections, and it's not scratches aren't nice. It dulls the look of the paint. And so yeah, microfibers. Very interesting little video here from Watches TV. They also mentioned that she is in a bit of, or the company is in a bit of financial difficulty because they went all in on making microfiber masks, and they are not allowed to sell them or something like that. They were not allowed to sell them, and they have like this whole stock of masks, and it's causing some financial issues, which is a strange thing to mention. But I'm sure they're looking for help or support. And she seemed like a really interesting lady. She seemed very um, what's the word? Philanthropic. Philanthropic. Um, Seemed like she was, thinking of the environment, thinking of the future, which people don't tend to do. Really, more and more people are nowadays. But yeah, it was interesting to see that kind of perspective on the watch industry, um, and that she was on the bleeding edge when it came to microfibers. So yeah, hey, if you guys enjoyed spring bars, I'm sure you'd enjoy that video. Much better than my spring bar rant. Um, so let's see. How do you spell color or center? I spell it exactly the way you expect me to spell it. I have U's. I have U's, and the R and E are flipped. So, and favorite, right? Favorite's another word that messes things up for me. Pale Horse, good to see you. How's it going, man? James watched it and he said it was a very enlightening video. It sure was. Very good one. I clean my watches with my jeans. I I don't do that. That would if I saw you doing that, I'd be um okay, quick plug here. I don't know if you guys know these two Italian guys on Instagram. They play on, I think it's called Lionfield Music. They kind of play on this whole Italian stereotype, how they really care about how pasta is made, and they react really um, emphatically if like pasta is broken, or people put ketchup on their pasta. And yeah, they're really funny. So if you guys haven't checked them out, do that. But I would react like them. I would fall on my knees if if I saw you cleaning your watch with your jeans, man. Like, I don't know if you see this here is a waterless washing compound that I used to use as a detailer. Um, what that does is it emulsifies dust and any abrasive material, so it encapsulates it, or so they say. And I believe it because I used it for years, um, cleaning cars, and it didn't leave any scratches. So it emulsifies dust, and then I use very specific microfibers to get that off when I'm cleaning a watch. So yeah, welcome to my world. Maybe this is my Jeff McMahon moment. What am I doing with myself? um, Corey says used to work in construction cleanup, and microfiber is a must. Well, there you go. And you clean your watches on your jeans too? No. Open licked. There you go. Yep. Yeah, tire is spelled that way. I don't do that though. I use an I for tire, so I'm a bit of a mishmash. But do you put things in the boot? I do put things in the boot. Yeah. I mean, I've switched now to using trunk because no one knows what I'm talking about when I say boot, but I do put things in the boot. Justin says that's not a stereotype. Uh, Reinhardt says, "Oh, the Canadian spelling proclivities make me smile." But I'm reminded they're a colony beholden to the Queen. No, actually, you'd be surprised because over here we spell things the American way. Um, I'm from a very British colony or a previous British colony, which is why I have British spelling. Chaz says we need a microfiber spring bar seminar from me. Yeah. uh, Corey says he uses the back of a dish. I know you're messing around, but guys, don't do that. Don't do that. You unless if you want to, brush your watch, have a brushed surface. Oh, that's good. Um, Jason says he puts his watches in the boot for an impromptu trips to the AT. I sure do. Um, Only saloon I recognize involves whiskey and six shooters. We use metric. We use metric here, but we are taught to use imperial as well because of our American neighbors. How often do you throw away or wash a microfiber cloth? I've been using the same one forever. Must be full of abrasive particles. I I like to wash them maybe bi-weekly, as in every 2 weeks. Um, but yeah, when I used it detailing, I think they'd get washed after every. Well, I mean that's a no brainer. You got to wash them after every use, so it's not a big thing. But yeah, bi-weekly. Throwing away, I don't think you need to. It doesn't get soiled enough to do that. Baby toothbrush. Yeah, yeah. Baby toothbrush shouldn't scratch your watch, especially if you're using lots of water. Uh, Theoretically, at least. Got a polishing wheel on my angle grinder thing about touching up some watches. Yeah, I I do lift the bonnet before checking the oil, and I get the oil from the boot. Okay, anyway, um, moving on. Moving on to our next video, we are going to talk about just the watches video. And I know we've talked about homages quite a bit in the past. And I don't like using the word homage because what we really mean here is replica or copy watch. Maybe we shouldn't say replica, but copy. So I think to change the word here, just the watch was talking about copy watches aren't the value that you might think they are. So he was talking about watches like Steel Die, Pagani design, and how a lot of people talk about how what a great value all this is, and all the major brands are ripping us off because their Steel Dive is charging us $90 for an NH35 equipped. Um, what was the Captain Willard reissue? Uh, but uh, Dave from Just the Watch, I think, was making a case against that because they're not a great value. Um, but James James mentioned something. I have one specific microfiber cloth for new watches. And Nefarian said I washed one once and it fell apart. I wouldn't wash these ones. If I can pick one up. I wouldn't wash these ones. I know Amin has one of these. Or, these are more like chamois rather than microfibers. You got to have like real microfibers. No. Um, I think Torin knows this one here. I pulled this out of the back. Um, this is how nuts I am about microfibers. Because, yeah, this happened a few years ago. I bought this microfiber cloth. This is just one, and it's got like this, yeah, high pile on one side and like a finishing section on the other. Um, and this was like 15 bucks. Just a tiny thing. And it's the best microfiber cloth ever. So, um, yeah. Chamois says Chaz. No, I said chamois, chamois, like chamois. Oh, and Nefarian said that's what it was. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't wash these. Just use them sparingly. Amin asks what the difference is. Well, these are barely cloth. So like this, if you rub this hard enough, it'll start piling up. Um, I find this more akin to, I don't know, paper. Not really, but it feels like fibers that were just pressure pressed together. Um, so this, I think, is a real microfiber. So this is like a automotive microfiber cloth. So I use these quite often. So you can see, it has this knitted like pattern to it. I'm sure it won't focus, but you got to use these because this is the like those little fibers, microfibers, um, pick up the dirt or the dust. So don't don't use these. Anyway, back to our topic here. Um, I hope you're okay with me bouncing around like this. uh, Usually, when I have a guest, it keeps me focused and centered. But yeah, Bruno says if you start talking about toilet paper, I'm out of here. Yeah, that's funny. Corey says yes, big difference between microfiber rag or towel and the cloths. There are other cloths too, like terry cloth. Don't use terry cloth. That's like the towel cloth. Uh, oh, there you go. Justin says not terry cloth. Um, Clandestine luxury. Jason says a minimum of 4 microfiber cloths within arm's reach. Impressive. Huh. Yeah, thanks. um, those are too low of a pile. We'll talk offline. No, yeah, these are my super cheap ones. I have expensive ones from years ago. Uh, and those are in the basement because I don't use them too often. But yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. As a pop quiz on microfibers after the stream, absolutely. Oh man. Uh, kinda, but not really. Anyway, James says, as a channel that reviews so many AliExpress watches, I was a little surprised Dave ended with that conclusion. Yeah. So let's get back to this. Dave came up with 5 points as to why these are not good value. Um, or why other watches that are more expensive Dave could call good value. So first one was customer service is non-existent on these watches or watch brands and manufacturers like Steel Dive. If you do purchase a watch from them, you're not going to expect them to really take care of you after that. There's no after sales care um, when it comes to companies like Steel Dive or Pagani Design. So that was number one. Second one was quality control and finishing standard is much lower. You're going to get sharp edges. You're going to get dust on the dial, or chances are good that you will. You could have clasp issues with the push buttons, stuff like that. Quality control is very minimal. There is not going to be much of that going on. So that's the other thing. And when you do get something with bad quality control, there's not going to be any customer service to fix you up. So that's one way how they get the costs down. The third one is the design is copied, which is why we really shouldn't call these homages. They're not paying reverence, or they're not paying homage um, to watches. They're just ripping them off. So yeah, I wouldn't call these. homages, and I hate that the community calls them homages. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But the design is copied, point number 3, and there is no cost of developing a design. It's all been done by the major brand, and yeah, they use the photocopier and they copy the design. Fourth one is there's no marketing costs because the major brand does the marketing for their watch, and the people who want these copies, they see this watch and they think, oh, maybe if I go on AliExpress, I'll be able to find an equivalent watch, and they do. So the company doesn't have to pay for the marketing. Well, we shouldn't just say AliExpress. There are like Swiss-made homages. Wow, we used to. There are Swiss-made copies or copy watches like Steinhardt, Janot. Janot was one of them. Whoa, excuse me. Janot was one of them. Yeah, there are quite a few Swiss-made um, copy watch companies as well. And the fifth point was the parts are mass produced. Crazy mass produced. So the economies of scale are in their favor. They've got hundreds of factories that churn out these parts, and they're able to just get these parts at super low cost, put them together. I'm not sure how steel does get like an NH35 movement. I guess an NH35 is like $30 to $40, I think, which is a good chunk of the watch's cost, and they're able to sell it. Well, I shouldn't say that because if they buy a very large quantity of NH35s, it won't be that expensive. So economies of scale are in full effect here. So and he ended with saying that these are there is intrinsic value in the actual product, like with the Captain Willard from Seiko. There is intrinsic value in that product because it has all this work has gone into developing that product. um, while with an homage you're getting something that's been copied and made at a lower quality, potentially at a lower quality. um, and yeah, it was a very very well put together video. I think he made he made some very um, good points, and a good eye-opening video for any of the newbies who might be thinking about picking up an homage. And if anyone is considering picking up an homage, go into it with your eyes wide open. I would say, you know, uh, don't don't do it. Don't ruin the experience of getting the actual watch, because you chances are you will be able to. Maybe you won't be able to get a 5711 or an Aquanaut Aquanaut because, they're so egregiously priced, but don't get a Bagel Sport or whatever that Homage is. Um, Come on, you're better than that. You're you're better than that. Get an Alpine Eagle. That's a true homage. Get like an Oh, that's crazy expensive too. Get like a Maurice Lacroix. That's a true homage. Those are good watches. They have their own thing going on. But anyway, yeah, we've talked about this before, right? So I'm not gonna beat that dead horse. um, let's see what you guys are saying. Nefarian says he needs to up his microfiber game. Yeah. Um, Time Hill asks, where can I get good microfiber? Costco. Costco does a good, like their big yellow microfibers. Those are pretty good. And well, they're not cheap because you're getting a whole bunch of them. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure where you can get like one good microfiber cloth. Maybe Amazon, but it's a lot of hit and miss there. Forbin Colossus, hey, good to see you, man. Can you use microfiber on macro lenses? I hesitate due to the irony. Oh man. Oh, Forbin Colossus, you had the best comments. That's good. That's so good. Oh, yeah. Um, James Duffy, I think I read that. James' video was well reasoned. Um, Torrin says Squally is getting bad with that. Yeah. Um, most of these smaller brands are doing a better job than Seiko at QC though. Yeah. I think I've heard that too. I've heard Steel Dive is doing a pretty good job with quality control. But I don't have any experience with any of these brands. So just so you guys know, I have no experience with Steel Dives. I have no experience with Pagani Designs. I've never purchased a copy watch or homage, as the community would call it. Never done it. James Duffy says you get what you pay for, except with Seiko and Rolex. Yeah. And Rob says if you buy 20,000 NH35s, it's probably $5 a piece. Oh, wow, cool. Joey, how's it going? Hey Sanjay, sorry I'm late. Just got back from taking the kids trick or treating at the in-laws. Hey, no worries, man. Hope you had a good night. Justin says the Alpine Eagle is cool. It sure is. Hey, Trini boy, good to see you on the live stream. Hey, how's it going, man? He says I too correctly refer to them as copies, which they are. They are. Of course, this came for the watch talk. Ended up learning a life lesson about valuing myself. You should value yourself because you are of infinite value. Like you are invaluable. Like every sense of that word. There's no value that can be placed on you. I knew you'd say that. I was waiting for it. No, say no to the Costco microfibers. Seen many car finishes ruined by them. Keep them away from your watches. No, see, the thing though is the Costco microfiber, it is maybe not good for car clear coat, but here we're talking about metal, which has a higher hardness, right? So I think you can get away with that. I think you can get away with Costco microfiber. Hey Sam, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Bruno says, "Isn't the Black Bay 58 an homage to an earlier Rolex?" Not exactly. Well, it is an homage, but it's not a copy, right? So yeah, an homage in the truest sense of the word is a good thing. It's paying reverence to something from the past, or paying reverence to something that is greater than you. But a copy is a knockoff or ripoff or whatever you want to call it. Jason says, I'll lose money on that, but sleep well knowing watches are safe. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I have hit the end of the chat, and it's the end of the videos I was going to discuss. Unless if you guys want to discuss that TGB video about reinventing yourself as a brand. There's not too much to talk about that. It was a good conversation between TGB and Mark from Long Island Watch. They were talking about brands that are changing, maybe moving up market. Seiko, Grand Seiko, Grand Seiko, or Seiko reinventing itself by breaking off Grand Seiko as a luxury product over their, well, Seikos are a luxury product too, but a higher end product over their Seiko watches. And they were talking about brands that didn't do their rebranding well. So Mark was talking about Concord. There was Benris that kind of sank themselves. In well, what else? They were talking about Fortis, and I wasn't too surprised that we were talking about Fortis. Fortis is reinventing themselves too, and yeah, they're going like they're pushing hard up market as well. So yeah, it was a good conversation between Mark and TGB. I enjoyed it. Mark is always great to listen to. TGB is good to listen to too. You just don't know. You just don't know if you're being sold something or not. But yeah, that's just the skeptic in me. But yeah, guys, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun chatting with you all. And I genuinely was looking forward to doing this solo tonight. So I didn't like chase down a lot of people to see if they could join me. Um, 'cause it's nice. It's just nice chatting with you guys on the street on the chat. I actually get to see every comment, be on top of the chat, and see you all. Hey, thanks so much for sticking with me. Um, and thank you for all your kind words. You're saying I did a great job, Mezzanine Sis. Um, Bill K as well, thank you so much. Um, Sam as well, and Chaz, you guys are so kind. But anyway, guys, Licht. Hope you have a great night. Hope you all have a great week. Like I said in the middle of the stream, which is really strange, you guys are infinitely valuable, guys. Like like I mean, like if you think of like a hostage situation, right? There's like a bounty or something on your head. There shouldn't be any price that is too high to save your life. That's how valuable you are. This is the stuff I think about. I'm sorry. Anyway, guys, hope you have a great night. Hope you have a great week, and take care. Stay safe out there. I'll chat with you next Saturday or during the week if we get to chat. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.